Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At AnyMac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future homebuyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of homeownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.any-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@any-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. AnyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC. DBA AnyMac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent. License lender. Broker number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License number MC 338923. Rhode Island License Lender. License number 201128110L. Call for additional details.
Jones on first down, wide open, it's Barkley. And Saquon Barkley will take it into the end zone.
Your best ability is his availability. Saquon Barkley, he's great when he's on the field, but the problem is since 2018, he hasn't been healthy for this team.
Look at this. They lob it to him. He taps it in off the glass. How about that?
Porter Moser, I think right now is the best coach of college basketball, hands down.
Fins 2 for 3. He's done his part.
Pitch is drilled to deep right field toward the pole, and it is gone.
They don't mind not being what they were in the 90s as the best organization in baseball, because the Yankees are even close to the best organization in baseball.
You're trying to beat the Rays, and the Rays do this for a reason. Like, you're the Yankees.
Welcome to Sports Talk with R&J. I am Steve Risser along with Justin D'Onofrio, and we are here. It is week 13 of the NFL season. We got the Cowboys and the Seahawks, and this is a game that I think both teams. I think the Cowboys coming at 8-3, Seahawks 6-5. I think this game is going to be an interesting game for both teams. But I think this is a game that the Cowboys should win. I think it's a game they're at home. I think their pass rush is going to be a big factor in this game. I think that Micah Parsons is going to have a big game. I think Dak Prescott's going to have a pretty big game. And I do think Seattle's just not playing well. And Kenneth Walker's big in this game because when Kenneth Walker doesn't play, the Seattle offense is not good at all. Geno Smith has not played well at all this season. And I think this is a game Dallas wins. I think because of their pass rush and because of Dak Prescott. I think Dallas wins this one 27-17. But Justin, can the Seahawks and Geno Smith carry them to an upset win?
I got same score as you, 27-17. I got Cowboys winning it. I don't think the Seahawks will be able to win this game. Dallas has been a machine at home so far this year. They're averaging 41 points a game, in their 5 home games this year down in Dallas. So, and you mentioned Geno's is not playing well this year. I don't know if he's banged up too right now. Yeah, if Kenneth Walker not going to play either, that's kind of a big loss for him as well. So I just think it's too daunting of a task right now for the Seahawks to be able to go into Dallas on Thursday night and knock off the Dallas Cowboys. The way Dallas has been playing at home, maybe Seattle's even keep it interesting in this one. But I don't think Seattle's offense will be able to score enough points against in this one against a pretty good Dallas Cowboys defense right now. So Dallas kind of sitting there 9-3 still. Then the Eagles kind of have a tough schedule coming up. So, Dallas isn't out of the window yet to try to win that AFC East. But it's going to be a tough uphill battle for them. So I got Dallas win this one 27-17. And as Steve right now is kind of dealing with some technical stuff. So I'm gonna move on here to talk about the big NFC rematch, the NFC Championship game from last year. As the San Francisco 49ers head out to Philadelphia in a big one at 4:25 this week. And for me in this one, just the way that the Eagles defense the last couple weeks has been on the field for over 100 plays, and I think I think that's going to hurt. I think that's going to hurt the Eagles in this one. They've been out there on the field a lot, and I think Brock Purdy is going to be able to make some plays against the secondary of Philadelphia, against the Eagles secondary. And Brock Purdy's played really, really well, especially when they've been healthy. They look pretty good there Thursday night. I know Seattle was able to make it a little bit interesting there in the third quarter, but San Francisco was able to kind of hang on there. Their defense is playing well. And Philly, kind of last week, they came back. They found a way to win the football game. And I think the Niners right now, the way they're playing, Brock Purdy's gonna have a good day through the air. I think that defense is gonna play well. And again, for the Niners as well, it's a big kind of revenge spot. The way they got beat, especially after they lost their quarterbacks, they kind of had to run wildcat the rest of the game. I think they really wanted to make a statement to the rest of the football world. That that it's a kind of a huge revenge spot for them. So I love the San Francisco. I think San Francisco this week goes out to Philly, and I think they find a way to knock off the Eagles here and continue be one game back there of trying to get that one seed and get that home that the bye and the home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs in this one. And Steve's still dealing with some technical difficulties right now, but he's got the Niners as well in this one, 24-20. And we'll move on to Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. And I'll start off here talking about Frank Reich, the Panthers head coach, as he was fired after only 1 year in Carolina. They're 1-10 this year. The offense hasn't been good. Bryce Young's really struggled. They've gone back and forth with the play calling duties between offense coordinator Thomas Brown and Frank Reich. I think Steve's coming back here now. Trying to.
Thank you, Justin. I had some technical difficulties there.
Okay, no problem.
So what did I miss? Did I miss the
Niners game? I was just about to move on to the Panthers, talk about Frank Reich. So
yeah, but you want to just have my take on the Niners Eagles?
Yeah. If you want to give take here, yeah.
So obviously you took who'd you take? You took the Niners there?
Yeah, the Niners 27-21.
Get the Niners 27-21, and I think in this game, I think the Eagles win this game. I think this is I think the Niners win this game. Obviously, this is a game where I think it's so crucial. Whatever team is ahead is got to win this game, especially the Niners. The Niners cannot come from 2 scores down and win this game. The team that is ahead is got to stay ahead, and that's the team who's going to win this game. I think the Niners end up winning this game 24-20. I think the biggest reason why is I think they run the football better than the Eagles in this game. And I think they make their quarterback. I think the Eagles defense has struggled against the pass. I think Purdy's able to get the ball to George Kittle. He's able to get the ball to Deebo Samuel. I think he's able to get the ball to Brandon Ayuk. I think it's close. It comes right down to the end. But I think the Niners pass rush is what makes a play at the end of the game. And that's why I think the Niners pull it out and they beat the Eagles 24-20. So it should be a great game. And this is a game the Niners got to win, because the Niners don't win this, they're not getting the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great point. Yeah, because they'll be 3 games back, and the Niners really want this one. I think it's a big revenge spot for them as well. After kind of that NFC Championship game last year, where they lost both quarterbacks, the Niners did, and Philly blew them out. So yeah, I think for the Niners too, I think a lot of motivation for them. So this should be a great one down there in Philly. And now we'll go back here to the Panthers firing Frank Reich. Right here, if you want to start off, Steve, kind of your thoughts there on the Panthers and the debacle that they've been.
Yeah, they're an absolute debacle. I mean, this is definitely the wrong move for the Carolina Panthers. This is absolutely the wrong move for the Panthers. I mean, the guy didn't even get a chance. The guy didn't even get a chance, and
It cannot be more the wrong move of the Carolina Panthers. This is a terrible move for this franchise. David Tepper is the worst owner in the NFL. It's a horrendous move for this franchise, and I feel bad for Bryce Young because Scott Fitterer did not put a good roster around Bryce Young, and they're now causing more dysfunction firing Frank Reich. I think this move is absolutely terrible. Justin, do you think this is the right move?
For me, I think it might. It depends who they come in and bring in because, like, I didn't like the Frank Wright hire, first off because I didn't think he was, great in Indianapolis. I kind of wanted them to go kind of the younger, kind of more innovative kind of offense for Bryce Young because I've always worried about his size. He's 5'11", and we've seen him kind of struggle this year. And you know, maybe they kind of hopefully bring somebody else in here, but I think it's just a total dysfunction by the. I'm like David Tepper bought the team in 2018. This is it's gonna be his seventh head coaching hiring. Like, something I know some of these owners don't do this, but they gotta kind of look at themselves in the mirror and kind of go, is it me? And I think for David Tepper, it's him because he's he pulls the trigger faster than most colleges do with their head coaches. So I didn't like the Frank hire first, but like after 11 games, they were going back and forth between him and Thomas Brown. It just didn't seem to be working. But the fire after coach after 11 games is quick, but I could see why. Because I don't know if it was going to turn around. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think it might have turned around, but you just can't keep firing coaches like this because now who's going to want to coach the Panthers? Who's going to want to coach the Panthers? He's fired 2 coaches in season, so who's going to want to coach this team?
Yeah, that's a good point because they don't even have a first round pick this year. Like that's.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot of fixing right now with that team. So yeah, that's definitely a job that's not going to be one that's good. Definitely going to be one of the jobs where it is going to be a little bit tougher to find somebody. Just because you don't have a pick either. There's a lot of kind of and with that owner too, and David Tepper, yeah, you don't have a lot. He's not giving you a lot of time to kind of turn things around. So yeah, it's not a great situation right now. Down there in Carolina, and we'll see if they're able to figure it out here. But yeah, David Tepper, he does not seem like a good owner to work for.
No, not at all. And we'll quickly talk about the game between the Panthers and the Bucks. And I think this game is a close game because I think these are divisional teams in the same division. I think that the Bucks will win though because I think Baker Mayfield will have a better game than Bryce Young. I think it comes right down to the end though, right down to the end where Bryce Young does not drive the Panthers down the field to win the game. That's why I got the Bucks winning this one 20-13. And who's there is Chris Tabor, right? Chris Tabor's their interim.
Yeah.
Chris Tabor. Can Chris Tabor, Justin, win his first game as interim head coach?
I don't think so. I got the Bucks as well in this one, 16-13. The Panthers offense has not been great at all so far this year. And I know the Bucks defense isn't anything special here, but I think the Bucks defense plays pretty well. I know Baker got banged up last week against the Colts, but I don't think it matters. I think the Buccaneers do enough in this one. I think they kind of survive. This is one spot where, sometimes you see after firing, the team kind of rallies around here. You've seen it with the Raiders this year where they play well, but I don't know if it's going to happen with this Panther team. I think they'll keep it close, but I think the Bucks get the win here.
Yeah, I think this should be a close one, but yeah, Tampa should definitely win this game. So we'll get to some of the big games this week. We'll start with the Lions and the Saints as the Lions travel to New Orleans to face the Saints. And I think this is a game that's going to stay close and competitive for a little while, but this is a good matchup for the Lions because they're going to be able to stop the Saints run game, be able to force some turnovers from Derek Carr. And Derek Carr really can't throw the ball deep, and the Lions play a good amount of man coverage, so that should help. And then I think the run game is the biggest thing for the Lions. I think Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery all big games and will help Jared Goff a lot in this game. He'll throw a couple touchdown passes. I think it's close for a half, but I think the Lions pull away in the second half. I get the Lions winning this one 27-16 over the Saints. But Justin, can Derek Carr and the Saints bounce back this week and get to 500?
I'm with you. I think the Lions bounce back in this one 24-16. The Saints might be without their top 3 wide receivers this week, which does not help either. And the Saints have been so bad in the red zone. They're 29th in the league in red zone efficiency. If the Lions they got to stop turning the football over. So I think the Lions do enough offensively. I think Derek Carr, they have some yards against this Lions defense, but if you're out, bunch of your top weapons, how much can you really do? So, and I think the Saints on some of their drives too will stall out in the red zone and kick field goals. And I think Detroit's able to bounce back, but they gotta figure it out. Their defense the last couple weeks has not been playing well at all. I know some of that's been turnovers, but the Lions, yeah, that should be kind of a get right week. You hope for their defense to kind of get things back on track.
Their defense hasn't played that well, and the thing about the Lions is their and the thing about the Lions is their offense. Jared Goff hasn't played that well. He had a really rough game against the Bears, and he had a rough game against the Packers too. He just hasn't played that well. And if he's not playing well, this team's going to have a lot of trouble in the playoffs, especially beating the 49ers, the 49ers, the Eagles, and even the Cowboys. They're going to have a lot of trouble winning those games against those two teams. So, yeah, Jared Goff is going to have to play better for them. I think it's a good get-right week game for him. That's why I got the Lions winning this. But we got to move on to a big AFC matchup in Houston as the Broncos travel down to Houston to face the Texans. And I think this is going to be a really, really close competitive game. But I think the difference in this game is I think that Denver's going to put more pressure on the quarterback. And I think that's going to cause Stroud to make a mistake or two. And I think Russell Wilson's going to play another really good game. This Denver team is hot. This defense has been red hot. I don't think since week 4 they've given up more than 24 points in a game. This defense they started out terribly. We thought they were clearly the worst defense in football, but they've really, really started to pick it up recently. So I think that their defense plays pretty well in this game. I think Russell Wilson plays well. I think it comes down to the end. And I think the Broncos pull this one out. Huge game in the AFC playoff race. I think the Broncos pull this one out to go to 7-5. I get the Broncos beating the Texans. I get the Broncos beating Houston 28-24. But Justin, can Stroud bounce back this week and keep Houston in the playoff race in the AFC?
I think Houston at home this week finds a way, 24-20. I think they bounce back. Last week they didn't turn the ball over, but the 2 weeks prior to that against the Bengals and Cardinals, they turned the ball over 3 times in each game. And Broncos they've been very good this year. It's kind of the turnover luck. So, in this one, if Stroud could kind of protect the football, because the Broncos already have 22 takeaways on the year. If they can protect the football, be able to run the football effectively enough in this one, I think Stroud makes enough plays. I think that defense kind of figures out a way to kind of slow down Russell Wilson, that offense. They make enough stops. They hold them to a couple of field goals. And I think Houston in this one kind of bounces back after a tough loss last week against Jacksonville, kind of continues to stay in that wild card hunt, and they move to 7-5.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really close competitive game. It's a 50-50 game, but I'm just going to go with the team that is playing better right now. I think both teams are playing really well, but I'm just going to go with the team that's playing better right now. That's Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. Who would have thought at 1-5 the Broncos would be 6-5 right now? The way we thought they were done after the Kansas City game, they were 1-5. We thought the relationship was over. Now they're everything's working out really well for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean Payton's done an awesome job after the slow start that they had, and we got a question or comment here from Hector. The loser might
great point, Hector. The loser might be out of the playoff race. Absolutely. The loser might be out of the playoff race. Absolutely. That's a great point by Hector there. But yeah, I mean, they wouldn't be out of it, but this game could definitely determine who gets that 7th spot in the AFC.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it is pretty packed in there. The Steelers and Browns are both 7-4. Colts are 6-5. Texans 6-5 with the Broncos, and the Bills are 6-6. And the offense is kind of figuring things out. So the loser of this game could be in a tough spot there to
because you never know. Even though the Bills' schedule is tough, you saw the way Josh Allen played on Sunday. They definitely could make a run. The Steelers are probably going to end up making the playoffs. So it's pretty, and then you never know. But then the Browns, still, even though they're going to probably lose a couple of games, their defense, even though Myles Garrett is hurt, their defense is still pretty good. So this game, and the Colts, they're 6-5, but they might be. But even though they're 6-5, they're playing pretty well too. So this game, this is very, very easily without bunched up the AFC. This is a huge game for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. We got another comment here from Hector. He'll be at the Dallas Seattle game tomorrow. Should be
nice.
I bet
you're rooting for the Seahawks, but there could be a way you could be rooting for, seeing where the Giants are in the wild card race. You could be rooting for for Dallas because you want Seattle to keep losing.
Yeah. Your Giants if they didn't blow the game against the Jets and the Bills, they'd be right there.
They'd be tied. They'd be tied for the. Tied. If they won at least one of those two games, they'd be in it.
Yeah, which is insane to think about, but
I know.
It's true. So enjoy the game tomorrow night, Hector. That should be going. Especially the Cowboys. Especially at home. They've been fun to watch. That's got to be a fun offense to watch in person. The way they've been they've been kind of going right now. So enjoy the game tomorrow night. That should be a good one. Gets two good teams. Hopefully, hopefully you see a good one.
Oh, absolutely, Hector. Absolutely. All righty. So we'll move on to a game that has two teams that look like they're going to get rid of their coaches. First, we know a team that's definitely going to get rid of their head coach in the Chargers with Brendan Staley. And then we got the Patriots with Bill Belichick. This should be an ugly game. But in terms of who's going to win, you got to take the team with a much better quarterback, and that's the Chargers. Do we even know who's starting for the Patriots again?
Bill's playing. Bill's playing his game up. He has no idea.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. But I think it's going to be a game where I think the Chargers control this game. I think Herbert throws a couple touchdown passes. I think they force a couple turnovers for whoever plays quarterback for the Patriots, and I think they win this one 23-10. But Justin, can your Patriots go to 3-0 against Justin Herbert? And if they win on Sunday, that Herbert would be 0-3 against the Patriots without Tom Brady.
Yeah, which is easy to think about, but yeah, they've done a good job of kind of slowing it down. I got the Pats going down yet again, 20-10. Patriots are the first team this year, or well, so team, prior to the last game against the Colts, teams in the NFL so far this year that have given up 10 points or less were 50-0. The Patriots last 2 weeks have given up 10 points and have lost both games. So
Unreal.
teams that have given up, yeah, it's bad. And the defense played really well, and again last week, and their Patriots offense hurt them yet again. And I don't think I don't think that locker room has any trust in any of those two quarterbacks, of Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi. They're both not very good. I'm not surprised. Again, maybe I'm a bad fan, but I was kind of happy Chad Ryland missed that field goal last week because I want to stay in contention to get a quarterback at this point. So
yeah, you're in position to get Drake May or Caleb Williams now.
Yeah, absolutely. So
because if you realistically look at it, the only two winnable games in your schedule, I think, are this one. This one is winnable, and because they got the coach on the other sideline, and then the Jet game the last week of the season. So really, have two more winnable games left.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so yeah,
it's crazy to say that Pittsburgh and Denver aren't even winnable games. No,
they're not, which is crazy. And they're both in prime. Next 3 weeks are all prime time for the Patriots as well. So that'll be fun.
Oh my god! Yeah, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, and then Denver. Oh man.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be fun. But the only good thing is the Patriots will be wearing the beautiful '90s throwbacks this week. So at least when they play bad, I can see them in those uniforms. So that will be nice.
It's funny how they wear the '90s throwbacks. The last year they wore those throwback uniforms, they were 2-14. 2 years before that, they were 1-15. It shows you. Yeah. I mean, so those throwbacks, they bring you back to a lot of losing, and they've been terrible this year as well.
Yeah, they have. It's been bad. Yeah, because this is the last couple of years before even Crap bought the team. So yeah, it's been brutal bad. So love for them to go back to these, but yeah. So at least I'll look forward to watching them wear the beautiful red uniforms on Sunday.
Oh yeah, exactly. And now we'll look at the Chargers end of this. And here's the biggest thing: is if the Chargers lose this game, is Brendan Staley going to be fired? Will this be Staley's last game if the Chargers lose? And I think it should be. Because they'll be completely out of the playoff race, and then it's pretty obvious that you have to fire Brendan Staley at the end of the season. So if the Chargers lose, I think he's done. I think the Chargers lose, they have to fire Brendan Staley.
I would think, but that owner doesn't usually fire guys in season, right? Like, I don't. Yeah. So that's why I think he might let him finish out the year, but I'm interested to see. Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised because they'd be, they'd be what 4-8 in an AFC this year that is not, like. There's no excuse for this team not to make the playoff. I know they've had some injuries, especially offensively. But
yeah, because you've seen teams with injuries. You've seen the Browns lose their starting quarterback, and they lose their starting running back. You see the Bengals losing Joe Burrow. So the opportunity was there for the Chargers. They just didn't take advantage of it at all.
No, they did not. They have not. Their defense finally played well last week, which is a bright spot for them. But yeah, you would think that this would have to be it for Brandon Staley. The way this team has just played all year, and I know Herbert's really right now just has Keenan Allen, but yeah, like this, you can get an early start there in your head coaching search, but it'd be interesting to see what direction they go in. But yeah, I would think Staley probably should be, but I don't think I think don't fire him at the end of the year.
Absolutely. Oh, well, it's obvious they're going to fire him at the end of the year. But I think it should be if they lose on Sunday. But yeah, I think they'll probably wait. I think you're probably right. They'll probably wait until the end of the year. But the bigger question is when they fire Staley, what are the chances of Belichick being their next head coach? And honestly, I think this is the place that if Bill wants to win again, this is the place. Washington is not the place because their roster isn't good enough. This is the place for him to win again because he's got a quarterback in Justin Herbert. The defense is bad, but he could fix because he's still a good defensive coach. Offensively, it's pathetic with the Patriots. The conservative play calling, you saw it last week right before the fourth quarter. They punted at their own 39-yard line instead of getting a yard when they were running the ball all over the Giants all game long, and they punt the ball on 4th and 1. That was pathetic. And then that reverse on 3rd down was pathetic before the field goal. So the conservative play calling was really, really bad for the Patriots on Sunday. But this is the place. This is the place for Bill. This is the place for Bill to try to get one without Tom Brady, to be honest, because he could fix that defense. There's talent on that defense. There is Khalil Mack. There is Derwin James. There is Joey Bosa. There is Eric Kendricks. There is talent on this defense. So if he could fix this defense, he's got a quarterback in Justin Herbert. This is his spot. This is Bill Belichick's spot if he wants to win another ring if he wants to win a ring without Tom Brady.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this would be in a good spot for him. To kind of have another guy like Justin Herbert, that offense is pretty good. Because I'm with you. Like, I still think he is a solid head coach. Again, we've talked about it. It's his GM stuff. It's
GM stuff is pathetic. His GM stuff is absolutely pathetic. That's the main reason why the Patriots have hit rock bottom is because him as the general manager. Now, I don't think he's as good of a head coach. I think he needs to be more he needs to be more aggressive, which he has not been. You saw that on Sunday, how he's not still coaching he's still coaching very conservatively. And I've seen the special teams be a disaster this year. So I don't think he's as great of a coach as he was, but I still think he's a very good head coach. He's just a pathetic general manager. So I think if he wants to get another ring, he wants to prove I can win something without Tom Brady. This is the spot.
Yeah, it absolutely will be. It definitely will be the spot there for him to get one. Because that team's got talent, as you mentioned, and that they just need an actual head coach in there to kind of get them on the right track. And I think Bill will be able to do that. And I think for Bill too, he's 20. He's 27 from beating Shula's record. Yeah, I want to say. So give and take 4 or 5 years, then you're out in LA. You can just go retire out there on the beach too.
Exactly.
Like, you already can go. So yeah, I think location wise, that would be the best spot for him. I actually missed these 2 comments here from Hector. He's got. I'm stuck in between taking my 2 daughters. One of the Cowboys fan, the other Seahawks fan. That's a tough one.
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one there. That's a tough one there.
Yeah. Gotta do like a coin flip or something. His other one, the Charger uniforms are fire. Those ones aren't bad. I like the powder blues a little better, but the other ones Sunday nights aren't bad bad either. But yeah, so for the Chargers, we'll kind of see what I think Bill would make sense there in LA, and I think that owner would probably hire. That owner probably would let him have some power. I think too.
They'll give him personnel power, which they shouldn't. But I think the only way they get him is if he gets the personnel power. But the good part about it is the roster is still pretty good, and if they can get a head coach, that team could be a contender. Now they wouldn't be the favorite, but they would be a contender. And Belichick, even now, would still be a major upgrade over Brandon Staley.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. It would definitely be a huge upgrade and tough division, especially the way Payton trying to turn around the Broncos as quickly. So yeah, I think it make perfect sense for him to go to LA. That'd work out, I think.
Absolutely. So you got the Jets hosting the Falcons this week, and the Jet offense is as bad or worse than the Patriots. Their offense is terrible. Their quarterback play is by far the worst in the league. I mean, Tim Boyle was awful. The Fail Mary was everything. It gave you everything you need to know on Black Friday. That was a horrific Jet performance, and I think it's more the same for the Jets this week. I think their defense will keep them in the game, but their quarterback play is so bad that they can't win games with this quarterback play. They really can't. honestly, outside of the Commanders game, I think they probably lose every game they play, or the Patriots. They could lose every game they play for the rest of the season. This quarterback play is awful. I don't know why they're going with Tim Boyle. They should be going with Trevor Siemian. At least Trevor Siemian's a professional quarterback. He's not good, but he's better than, in my opinion, he's better than Tim Boyle. Like, the reason they're playing Tim Boyle is he knows the scheme from Nathaniel Hackett. But as we know, as UConn fans and being from the state of Connecticut, no offense, he was great at Xavier. I'll give him that. Tim Boyle shouldn't. I wondered last week if he should be in the NFL. He really shouldn't be in the NFL. And I think it's going to prove this week. He's going to turn the ball over a couple times. I think this is a game where Desmond Ridder doesn't have to win. He can just manage it, just like last week against the Saints. And that's why I got the Falcons winning this game 20-10 over the Jets. But Justin, can this Jets defense help them snap this 4-game losing streak?
I don't think they will, because I think the Falcons run the ball well enough against a Jet defense that has given up yards on the ground. So, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, because just the way the Falcons play, I don't think they're capable of blowing anybody out. So I think they'll keep the Jets in the game, but I don't, the only way I see the Jets scoring points is a couple Desmond Ridder turnovers, something like that. Because this Jet team offensively right now is not very good. Desmond Ridder just has to make enough plays in this one. I think Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier have good games on the ground. I think the Falcons do enough. I think they control the clock in this one, and I got the Falcons. And actually, I just saw it. I guess Aaron Rodgers' practice window is opened up now off IR, so I guess he is practicing today. No contact, but Rodgers is out there, but I wouldn't play him because, there's going to be no point. You're going to be out of it by the time he could actually get into game action, if he even can. It would be a dumb decision for the Jets, but it wouldn't shock me if the Jets, if Roger wants to go out there, I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets let him, because it's the Jets and they let him control everything right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't be shocked either. But yeah, I mean, I think that I think I wouldn't be shocked, but there's no way they should play him. There's no way they should play at this point in the year. There's no way they should play him. Have him rest for next year. Have him as ready as they possibly can for next season. There's no way they should ever play Aaron Rodgers this year. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. We had a comment from Hector. He thinks it's a trap game, which
good point.
Yeah, it could. It definitely could be.
And the Jets defense can still win a game. The Jets defense can still win a game. The problem is their offense is just so pathetic because of their quarterback play.
Yeah, absolutely. I could very well see the Jets win this game like 13-10, something very low scoring like that. So yeah, absolutely. I could totally see this be a trap game for the Falcons there. Arizona won, last road game they had, Arizona put 35 on them. So, wouldn't surprise me to see the Jets there at home find a way to knock off Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, it would not surprise me at all. It would not surprise me at all to see the Jets. It would not sorry to see the Jets win, but I just don't think with their quarterback play they can. I just don't think it's possible with the terrible quarterback play they have that they're going to be able to win this game. But we are going to move on to a matchup in DC as the Commanders take on the Dolphins. And I think this game is I said last week the Commanders would fire Ron Rivera. They were very close too. They fired Jack Del Rio. But so now Ron Rivera is calling the plays, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. I think the Dolphins offense gets in the 30s. I think Tua throws a couple touchdown passes. I think the Dolphins defense forces some turnovers against Sam Howell. I get the Dolphins winning this game going away. I got the Dolphins winning this game 31-13 over the Commanders. But Justin, is there any way that Rivera calling the defense is going to make a difference this week?
I don't think so. I think as long as the Dolphins don't kind of, hold themselves back offensively, they should kind of do whatever they want against this defense. Look, we saw a couple weeks ago, no offense to Tommy DeVito, but he went in there and just absolutely, he looked like like a top level NFL quarterback a couple weeks ago. It's this Washington defense. So, I think Tua should be able to play well in this one. They got to cut down the turnovers. I think they're going to be able to do it this week against this defense. I don't know how much fight's left in that Washington team right now. It's been a tough year. At least you've seen some, moments from Sam Howell that kind of show you he could be the franchise guy. He's looked pretty good for the most part, but I don't see them being able to slow down this Miami offense this week. I think the Dolphins win by at least 2 scores.
Yeah, I agree. I think Miami wins this game convincingly. We got a matchup in Pittsburgh between the Cardinals and the Steelers. I think this game is going to be a game the Steelers win. I think maybe it stays a little bit close because the Cardinals do have a better quarterback, but eventually in the second half, the Steelers will pull away with their run game with Warren and Najee Harris. They'll pull away with their run game. I think their defense will force a couple turnovers from Kyler Murray. The Cardinals have the worst roster in football right now. They're in need to get we'll see what happens with Kyler, but they're in need for like a Marvin Harrison on that team. They're definitely in need for a player like that. I got the Steelers going to 8-4. I got them beating the Cardinals 24-13. But Justin, is there somehow Kyler Murray could have a huge game and pull the upset here?
I don't think so. I got the Steelers in this one as well, 20-14. Their offense hasn't been great for the most part. I know they played well there against Atlanta. Last couple of weeks, they really haven't been able to do much on the offensive side of the ball against the Rams and the Texans. I think that's going to be the same against the Steelers defense that's going to get after Kyler Murray. They've had, Cardinals have struggled kind of protecting a little bit, and the Steelers pass rush is just so good that I think they're going to be able to tee off on them. And I think Pittsburgh just, Pittsburgh defense kind of continues to find ways to win football games. And I think in this one, it's no different. And last week, the Steelers, the first time I think it was in 59 regular season games that they had over 400 yards of offense. So, maybe their offense gets it going a little bit too now without Matt Canada as well. So I got the Steelers winning this one, 2014.
All righty, we got an AFC South matchup in Tennessee as the Colts take on the Titans. And I think this one is close. I think this one is competitive, but I'm going to go with the team that's playing better right now. And the team that's playing better right now is the Colts. Shane Steichen has got to be up there for Coach of the Year. His defense isn't that good because you saw them cut Darius Leonard wasn't playing that well. You saw them cut Shaq Leonard. Their offense has Gardner Minshew, who has played a lot better than I thought. They've had Jonathan Taylor in and out of the lineup, but right now they're currently the number 7 seed in the AFC. Shane Steichen has got to be up for Coach of the Year. It's funny how both Eagles assistants, I think they knew how well they would do. Shane Steichen has had success in Indy, and Jonathan Gannon hasn't had success in Arizona. We kind of had a feeling how both those coaches would do, but Shane Steichen's done a great job this year. I think Minshew, I think the run plays well. I think the run game plays well. I think this Colts defense stops Will Levis when it matters. That's why I got the Colts sweeping the Titans. I got them winning this game 20-17. But Justin, can the Titans get revenge from what happened in Week 4?
I get Titans 2016 this week. They're 4-1 at home. They played well there. I think I know Derrick Henry, that the rushing game's kind of been very inconsistent at times this year. Henry had 81 yards last week for a couple of touchdowns. I think this week he does run the ball well enough. I think Will Levis makes enough plays. And, if his offensive line could protect him enough, I think, if you give him enough time, I think he'll be able to make enough plays. DeAndre Hopkins, the first meeting against the Colts, he had 8 catches for 140 yards. I think he could have another big day against the Colts secondary. So I get Tennessee at home figuring it out and kind of somewhat trying to, 5-7, trying to keep very, very slim playoff hopes alive.
Yeah. I mean, they're very, very slim. I mean, Tennessee is probably, outside of the Patriots, one of the worst teams. Them and the Jets are probably the 3 worst teams in the AFC. Very, very slim playoff hopes. And this could be Mike Vrabel's last year. You never know. This could be Vrabel's last year in Tennessee.
It could. So because he was inducted to the Patriot Hall of Fame there in that Bills game.
Yep.
And he kind of said that second half, like, we got to go close it out or something. Like the Patriots got to go close it out second half. Like he was still talking like he was part, still Patriot. So he's up there in my wish list. So I wouldn't mind. I think he'd come back if, be good. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this is last year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got an interconference matchup in LA, and this is for 2 teams that are fighting for the playoffs. Rams got a very good chance now to make the playoffs. With Kieran Williams back, you got Puka Nacua, and Matthew Stafford hasn't played that poorly. And then for the Browns, they've just been ravaged by injuries. There's a good chance Myles Garrett won't play. They could very easily be down to P.J. Walker this week. So I think this is a close competitive game. I think the Browns defense keeps it in it, but I think P.J. Walker or Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to turn the ball over a couple of times. I think that I think that Kieran Williams is going to get his yards on the ground because the weakness with the Browns defense is their run defense. And I think in the end, for the Rams, I think Williams will do well for the Rams. I think because the weaknesses of the Browns is their run defense. And I think the Rams pull this one out. I think the Rams go to 6-6. They pull this one out. I got the Rams winning this one 23-17 over the Browns. But Justin, can Cleveland's defense get them to 8-4?
I don't think so. I got the Rams 17-10. Actually, just going back to Hector commented, the Titans are actually 4-0 at home. I forgot they did play London against the Ravens, so I forgot to count that one.
4-0 at home.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, they haven't. I know they haven't beaten great teams. I mean, they beat the Chargers. I mean, look at who they beat. They beat the Chargers. They beat the Falcons. They beat the Bengals with a banged up Joe Burrow. And the
Panthers.
And the Panthers, yeah. So realistically, yeah, they're 4-0, but some of the opponents have not been great opponents. Not like they've beaten they haven't played. It makes sense. They haven't played C.J. Stroud or Trevor Lawrence yet, so that makes sense. They're 4-0 at home.
Yeah, no, that does. Yeah, makes some sense there that they're 4-0 at home. They did, they beat the Chargers, but yeah. So feel a little bit better about that pick that they've been good at home. But going back to but thank you, Hector, for correcting me there. But I got the Rams. Yeah, this one 17-10. I just think the Rams defense is going to play well. Is Joe Flacco really going to start this week? Like over PJ Walker? I know there's like rumors.
I know.
The last time we saw Joe Flacco, he's not very good. Like I know PJ Walker's not good either, but I don't see Joe Flacco going in there be able to do enough to beat the Rams. Yeah. I know that defense isn't great, but I think it's good enough to stop them. The Cleveland defense is going to have to put them in good spots, and for the Browns offense to have any success there. For the Cleveland defense as well, like the Rams want to run the football. If you could kind of make them, if you could kind of put them in third and longs and make it obvious passing situations there for LA, I think that will help Cleveland out there getting that pass rush going. But other than that, I just think Cleveland's having a hard time scoring points in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cleveland's gonna have they're gonna have a hard time scoring. And I think that I think the Rams will pull out a win, a much needed win, because don't forget they got the tiebreaker on Seattle. They beat them twice, so yeah, it would be a much needed win for the Rams. And I think if they win, there's a good chance they probably have the number 7 seed. If the way they win and Dallas loses, there's a really good chance that they're the number 7 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that up because Hector too just could the Rams be that team slide in? Yeah, they absolutely could. Yeah. I know the Packers are starting to kind of turn around. Dobbs now with the Vikings.
That was a terrible game on Monday night for him. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the Rams very easily could definitely kind of find a way. They play Baltimore on the road next week. They still got the Commanders at home. They got the Saints at home, that will be a big kind of.
And they got the Giants in New York.
Determines that. Yep. And then they end at San Fran, which.
Ooh, that's going to be tough.
I don't know if they'll, San Fran may be playing for the one.
But there's a very good chance they can end 9-8. There's a very good chance they can end 9-8. If they're 9-8, I think with the 2 wins over Seattle, I think they're getting in.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can knock off, that will definitely help them. Packers schedule's not bad. They got Giants still as well on the road, Bucks at home, at Carolina, at Minnesota, Bears at home. So 9-8 for the Rams. They could get there. Yeah, I think they could be in very good shape there to get that 7th seed. They could slide in and be. Very nice year from the Rams where it kind of felt like they took advantage kind of a down NFC where a year we're still kind of trying to turn things around in that rebuild, trying to get it going. But it'd be a nice year there if they can get to 9-8.
Absolutely. And you look at all these teams that play the Giants, these wild card teams. The Rams, the Saints, the Rams, the Saints, the Packers. If the Giants somehow win all these games and beat the Eagles in that one game, you never know. They could slide in at 8 and 9. The problem is they don't have the tiebreaker with Seattle. But hey, you never know. I know it's crazy we're actually having this discussion. We probably shouldn't have this discussion with the way the Giants played on offense on Sunday. But hey, you never. There is that 1% chance just because of the 3 teams they play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then like that Week 18, maybe the Eagles have the 1 seed, and it's just kind of whatever. It's possible. It's possible they could find themselves 8 and 9 and be a huge, kind of again. That team seems to love to play for Tommy DeVito. Like that team's going to continue to play hard, I think, up till the end. So, I wouldn't be total. I don't think it's going to happen either, but I wouldn't be shocked if they find their way. They end up playing spoiler here a couple times the next couple weeks here.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll now talk about another team in the playoff race in the NFC, and that's the Packers, and they face the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. And I do think this game is close early on. We know the Chiefs are obviously good this year, but they've struggled. They got down 14-0 last week, but Mahomes showed how great he was bringing them back. And then Jordan Love the last 2 weeks. He had that comeback win against the Chargers, and then last week against on Thanksgiving against the Lions, played really, really well. I think this game is close. But I think what the difference is the Chiefs got Patrick Mahomes, and I think the Chiefs defense makes a big stop at the end. That's why I got the Chiefs going to 9-3, Packers going to 5-7. I got the Chiefs winning this game 27-20 over the Packers. But Justin, can Jordan Love continue to stay hot and lead the Packers to their third straight win?
I think they keep it close, but I have the Chiefs as well here, 23-20. Yeah, Love's played a lot better the last couple weeks. I know Aaron Jones is still questionable in this game. AJ Dillon hasn't been great so far running the football this year. And, could the Packers be able to pass protect, against a Chiefs team that, they got guys that are going to get after them this week and put some pressure on them. But, the Chiefs offense kind of looked a little bit better, especially after like the first quarter there. The Raiders got very conservative there. But, I think the Packers defense plays well enough, and I think their offense able to kind of put up some points here. But I don't think it's enough, and I think the Chiefs kind of back-to-back road games here. I think they find a way to hang on. But I think, the Packers coming off some extra rest there, playing on Thanksgiving. I think they keep it close there, but I don't think they're able to, keep up with Mahomes there, and they lose by a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it is I think that it's going to be a close game, but I just don't think. I think it's the quarterback play is going to be. I think the difference in this game. That's why I think the Chiefs go to 9-3 and the Packers go to 5-7. So we'll wrap up talking about the Monday night game between the Jags and the Bengals, and I think this game is going to be a really, really ugly one. Zach Taylor is awful without Joe Burrow. I think his record. I was looking at somewhere. It's got to be like 4-22. I think it's like 4 wins in like since 2020 without Joe Burrow. That's really, really bad. I think. And last week they only scored 10 points. Browning threw a terrible interception in the I think they're winning the game, and Browning threw an awful interception in the third quarter. I think this is going to be a nightmare for the Bengals. I think they're going to be the Jags do whatever they want on the ground with Travis Etienne. Lawrence throws a couple touchdowns. Browning throws a couple picks. I got the Jags big here, winning at 30-10 over the Bengals. But Justin, can the Bengals somehow go to win their third straight against the Jags?
No, I don't think so. I got Jacksonville as well here, 21-10. Without Joe Burrow, I don't think there's going to be much offensively that they're going to be able to do. Outside of like Jamar Chase's, he had a 31-yard catch, 25-yard kind of reception. That was really about all they had for kind of big plays offensively. Jake Browning, kind of reason why he's been more of a practice squad quarterback since entering the league. Their offense is not great. I think they're going to struggle here at Jacksonville. I think it'll be a tough one for them. I think their defense kind of plays well enough, but, they can't, Cincinnati struggled to run the ball without Joe Burrow in their quarterback, and the Jags have been so good at stopping the run that I just think they're going to be too one-dimensional. They'll get behind, and they're not going to be able to put up enough points. I think, and Jacksonville does enough there offensively. They should be able to take care of business at home.
Yeah, they should definitely. I think they take care of business easily on Monday night against the Bengals. But that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sports Talking with R&J. First, huge thanks to Justin. I had some technical difficulties. Huge thanks to Justin for producing the show and taking over for a little bit while I had some technical difficulties. So huge thanks to him for that. I'll see if I can get that fixed before in the next couple of minutes before our next show. But we will be back in about 10 minutes to talk about the college football rankings championship week and a huge week for UConn basketball. So make sure you tune in for that.
Jones on first down, wide open, it's Barkley. And Saquon Barkley will take it into the end zone.
Your best ability is availability. Saquon Barkley, he's great when he's on the field, but the problem is since 2018, he hasn't been healthy for this team.
Look at this. They lob it to him. He taps it in off the glass. How about that?
Porter Moser, I think right now is the best coach in college basketball, hands down.
Fins 2 for 3. He's done his part. Pitch is drilled to deep right field toward the pole, and it is God.
They don't mind not being what they were in the 90s as the best organization in baseball, because the Yankees are not. They're even close to the best organization in baseball.
You're trying to be the Rays, and the Rays do this for a reason. Like, you're the Yankees.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men. And great true crime shows like Sticky Meat, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Bird, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.